The almighty potato, it's ridiculously versatile, but one of my favorite uses is making gnocchi. And yes, chances are you already have what you need to make these delicious, fluffy potato pillows. I'll also be making a classic brown butter sage sauce to level these up even further. I'm going to start by grabbing 1.5 pounds of russet potatoes. These will go into a cold pot of water and brought up to a heavy simmer for about 25 minutes or until they're fork tender. I didn't peel these because I want to limit the amount of water they absorb while cooking. This will yield a lighter, fluffier gnocchi. They peel really easily by flipping over a paring knife and just scraping at it with the dull side. This is when I get a more exact measurement of the weight of the potatoes. I've found that using 40% of the potato weight in flour gives me perfect gnocchi every time. So here I've got 600 grams, give or take, of potatoes, meaning I'll need 240 grams of flour. Now you can choose your preferred method of mashing. You could use a potato ricer or masher, but I'm just going to use my trusty paster blender here. From here, I like to spread these out on a sheet pan to cool completely. Now that the potatoes have cooled, I'll just add these to the bowl along with 1 egg, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and the 240 grams of flour. As you fold in the flour, I just want it to come together enough to turn out onto my board where I'll continue kneading for my final dough. Now it's helpful just to work in batches, so I'm going to divide this up into quarters and keep the other 3 under plastic wrap. These will get rolled into cylinders around the circumference of a nickel. Then cut them roughly into 1-inch pieces. It's always nice to have a bench scraper to knock these out faster. Now you could be done with these, or you could add a little flair and roll along with a fork and add ridges. Or in this case, I'm using a pasta board and rolling it with a fork to get some nice texture. These ridges not only make your gnocchi legit, they also hold extra sauce. Now I'm going to move these onto a sheet pan with a little flour to hold while the pot of water comes up, just shy of a boil. Now it's just as simple as cooking them until they start floating to the top, which is usually around 90 seconds. You can sauce these a million ways, but my favorite and also one of the easiest is to make a classic brown butter sage sauce. Just add in your butter and melt it until it starts to turn golden. This is when I'll throw in some fresh chopped sage, and the butter you can see will continue to brown and the sage will wilt and infuse the butter with an amazing flavor. Now add in your gnocchi and toss. For added depth of flavor, I'm going to add a pinch of nutmeg as well as some cracked black pepper. Serve with some Parmesan, and you've got yourself a classic Italian staple. I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. This is Kitchen Serious.